In this video, we are going to look at topic 7.7, which is the common ancestry. It is believed that we all originated from a common ancestor, and all species on this planet can now be divided into the three major domains: the bacteria, the archaea, and the eukarya. So this is the phylogenetic tree of life, and we'll talk about phylogenetics later as we continue in this. The eukaryotic cell is believed to have originated from an ancestral prokaryotic cell. That prokaryotic cell involved infolding of the plasma membrane to form the nucleus. Further infolding resulted in the endoplasmic reticulum as well as the Golgi apparatus. Interestingly, at one point in time, this pre-eukaryotic cell engulfed a heterotrophic prokaryotic cell. It is believed that this is where our mitochondria originated. So this was a symbiotic relationship between the bacteria that was eaten by the eukaryotic cell. That is where our heterotrophic eukaryotic cell originated from. So basically animal cells. Now, as we know, plant cells have a second energy source that we now call the chloroplast. And similar to the engulfing of the mitochondria, it is believed that the chloroplast was a photosynthetic prokaryotic cell that too was engulfed by the plant cell and form a symbiotic relationship. So this is the origin of our eukaryotic cells. In this unit, we are going to further demonstrate the common ancestral of the eukaryotic cells. So a couple of structural evidence that indicate a common ancestral of all eukaryotic cells include the membrane-bound organelles. So as I just described in that last slide, it is believed that at one point in our evolutionary history, our eukaryotic cell engulfed a bacterium, and that bacterium eventually became our mitochondria. That's because the mitochondria, our chloroplast, and actually even our nucleus have a double membrane organelle. Single membrane organelles include the lysosome, the endoplasmic reticulum, or the ER, and the Golgi apparatus. Now, remember from 9th grade biology that the idea of membrane-bound organelles is a unique characteristic of eukaryotic cells, and these do not exist in prokaryotic cells. All eukaryotic cells have this common feature. A second common feature of all eukaryotic cells is our linear chromosomes. Now, if we look at a prokaryotic cell, a bacterial cell, they have a DNA molecule. However, that DNA molecule is actually a circle. It also is what we describe as being naked. It isn't associated with any proteins we call histones. Also, in the prokaryotic cell, they commonly have plasmids, which are basically extra pieces of DNA, and they usually only have a single chromosome. Now, if we compare and contrast the prokaryotic cell to all eukaryotic cells have linear DNA molecules. So it's not the nice circle such as the prokaryotic cell. Also bound to our eukaryotic DNA are things called histones. So actually our DNA is wrapped around these little proteins we call histones, and you can see that kind of in the diagram there at the bottom. Our eukaryotic cells have no plasmids, and we often have more than 2 chromosomes. In fact, humans have 46 chromosomes. 23 you receive from your biological mom, and 23 you receive from your biological father. Different types of species have different number of chromosomes. Okay. 46 chromosomes is unique to humans. So those are the differences between a prokaryotic and a eukaryotic. Just remember that all eukaryotic cells have linear chromosomes. The next common feature of all eukaryotic cells are these things called introns. And we'll learn more about the importance of introns when we talk about DNA replication, as well as the transcription translation process. That's going to be critical during that step. But the thing I want to let you know today is that prokaryotic cells do not have introns. Introns are unique to all eukaryotic cells. So to summarize the differences between eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells, the eukaryotic cells, which are found in humans, plants, animals, fungi, and insects, prokaryotic cells are predominantly bacteria. They are usually less complex than the eukaryotic cells. The key thing between a eukaryotic cell and a prokaryotic cell is the presence of a nucleus as well as membrane-bound organelles. So those are distinct in eukaryotic cells. We do not see those in the bacteria cell. And the last feature we talked about today is the distinctiveness of the eukaryotic DNA. Remember, eukaryotic DNA is present in long linear strands of DNA we call chromosomes. It's also wrapped in histones, and it has introns. Those key features are not present in the DNA of prokaryotic cells.